My name is Nelson. I have exactly 6 months left to live for me to do another sacrifice. I don't sleep inside my bed. I sleep in a tree that is at my house. If you saw my bank balance when I used to work for Capitec, and if you see me right now, you would see that life has changed. When I was working at Capitec, I used to struggle even to buy a loaf of bread. Today, I am someone that is making a lot of money, but I have not slept in a bed for many weeks. I sleep in a tree. Does not matter if it rains or if it does not even rain at all. So far, I have sacrificed 5 women in my life. I'm still supposed to sacrifice another one. Please, brother, post my story as anonymous. My life ended the day that I decided to be nosy, to get into other people's businesses. If I had just ignored that Nigerian guy, if I had ignored the South Africa versus Nigeria thing back in 2022, when I was working as a consultant at a Capitec branch in Jozi, I have changed the year so that people won't trace this story back to me. In 2022, I was working as a consultant at a Capitec branch in Johannesburg. It was on a busy day when this Nigerian man walked in. He just looked ordinary, nothing there. He was just someone that he had came to sort out his banking app. He came to where I was after I had finished helping this other woman. She was an elderly woman that was accompanied by her beautiful granddaughter. After that, I then called the Nigerian guy, for he was the one that was next in line. He told me that he was having trouble with his banking app and he could not see his latest deposits, and whenever he tried to make a payment, it was failing to make a payment. So then I pulled up his profile to assist him. My heart literally stopped as I was working with him on his phone. In his savings account, there was 11,450 million that was just sitting there. Usually, as bank staff, we are trained to flag such an amount, especially when we suspect illegal dealings or scams. And this was a Nigerian guy. Please do not think that maybe I'm racist or not. But I said, where will this Nigerian guy get all of this money? It is just sitting there in his savings account. So as I was talking to him, I was busy calculating the next move that I was going to do, thinking that maybe this was a drug dealer, maybe he was using the account to push the money that he was getting from his drugs, or maybe he had scammed an American or someone of his millions. I tried to be professional and I kept on asking myself where this guy could have gotten all of this money from. So it took a while for that app to be okay. I think that my greed was also getting the better of me. That was when I started to speak with him more about his personal life as we were busy working on the app. I leaned in and I whispered to him, my brother, what kind of business are you into to have this kind of money in your account? I did not say money. I said so much water in your account. He looked at me. He really did not even get angry or anything. He just smiled and he said, oh, I am a businessman. This money that you see in my savings account, it is money that I use for businesses. And I said, what kind of business? That was when he told me that he buys chickens in bulk. He told me that some of the chicken that we eat, chicken that you see in popular supermarkets, those chickens there are not made in South Africa. They get them in Brazil, they ship them to South Africa, and then they sell them off, even beef. And I said, you mean that we eat beef that is from Brazil? And he said, yeah, beef, you can get it, beef from Brazil, sugar and everything. And I said, oh, you are lying, man. Sugar from Brazil? We have sugar, that is coming from KZN. And he said to me, no, this is the business that I'm doing. He then said, let me show you. That was when he showed me the business that he was involved into. And this guy, he was a nice character to be around. He did not even get angry. He just looked at me and he said, it is just business that I'm doing. If you are into these kind of things. I can teach you, but it needs a lot of money. And I asked him how much money was needed for the capital for me to start my business. That was when he told me that at least I needed 1 mil. And I laughed at him and I said, you are looking at 500,000 right now. Even if I sell myself, I won't even fetch 1 million at the market. Where do you think that a guy like me is going to get 1 mil? He then said, I can assist you, I can borrow you, then you can give me back my money. And I said, you're serious? And then he said, yes. And then we exchanged phone numbers right there and there. He wrote his phone numbers on a piece of paper. I did not want to contact him, but when I was home, it was as if the devil was calling my name, and I decided to respond to the devil when I heard him say, Nelson, Nelson. Like when I returned back home, I was in bed thinking about where I was going to get money for the remaining weeks I had before my salary date, because I was out of money to catch a taxi to go to work. Then when I was on Facebook just scrolling around, then I saw that there was this other group that just appeared out of nowhere. I got into that group. To my surprise, this was a group about people that were saying that they recruit those that want to be rich in South Africa. And I started looking at the pictures of Nigerians that were enjoying money. And I said that maybe this is a sign from God. I have to do this. Then I took the phone number. I called him. I literally had to borrow 2 rand low airtime in order for me to call him. I called him, but oh my God, then that 2 rand, it was eaten by the voicemail. And I said, Nelson, just stop calling this guy. He's never going to pick up, because I called him so many times. And then the voicemail was the one that chopped my money, and I did not have any more money even to buy airtime. Later on, it was around 11 p.m. when he called me. I was fast asleep. Then I heard voo voo. This was my phone that was vibrating. Then I woke up and I said, who is this now? I had almost forgotten about the Nigerian guy. Then he asked me what I was doing. I told him that I was fast asleep, and he laughed at me and he said, Nelson, you are still poor. You are not supposed to be sleeping. And I said, what am I supposed to be doing, my good boss? Do you have a job for me? He then told me that he wanted to see me. And I said, like now? And he said, yes. He asked me if I was willing to see him that very same night. And I said, yes, but I don't know if you want to come to this location where I am staying, because I'm scared that they might rob you. He laughed and he said, no one will ever rob me. I am Nigerian, Nelson. I'm coming. Just send me your location. I then sent him my location. He came. He told me that he had gone to the temple to pray. The temple is in Midrand, and he was staying in 4 ways. And when he came, it was past midnight, my bro. But still, I had to wake up, and then I went to his car. We sat inside of his car. This was the guy that I had met recently, yet I trusted him. When I entered into his vehicle, I saw that he was wearing a red garment, and he had a heavy gold chain on his neck. He told me that he wanted to assist me with that money that he had promised me earlier on. And I said, okay, how are we going to do it? He then said to me, I am in this business. I'm going to teach you how to import stuff that people desperately need in South Africa. But I want you to understand something, Nelson. This business that you're going to be involved in, it is just business from the outside, but from the inside, it is not business, Nelson. It will be all about spirituality. And he said to me, he was a spiritualist, and he told me that the money that he makes, he first makes it in the spiritual realm. Then after that, the money, it is transferred into the physical world. He said to me, some people, they work so hard, like what you used to do when you were working. I don't consider you as someone that is working anymore at Capitec. From now on, you are your own boss. You will be working in the invisible world. He said that he had seen the hunger in my eyes after I had seen the money that was in his savings account. Before he left, he then gave me a little piece of paper, and he told me to only unfold it when I was back in my room, but I had to do it in the dark. I returned back into my room, I switched off the light and then I sat on the bed. And then that was when I had a lion that was roaring after I had opened up that little piece of paper. He had told me that the last thing that I would want to do after I would have seen something that no human being is supposed to see with his human eyes was to panic. When I heard that there was a lion that was roaring in my room, I wanted to scream because everything that was happening, it was just abnormal. It was not normal at all. But I said, relax, Nelson. This is your time to make money. The time is now. I was tired of counting other people's money. And as I was thinking about the way that I was tired of working at Capitec, that was when I heard a voice in my room that said to me, if you are tired of counting other people's money, then you have to go to Lagos with me next week. Come with me, come with me, come with me, come with me. This voice kept on saying that until I switched on the light and I saw that there was money on the bed. This was the money that I used for the remaining of the month so that I can get my salary. After I had resigned, applied for my passport, and then I went to Nigeria. When I went to Nigeria, I was taken to this other village. We drove for about 2 hours from Lagos. And when we were in that village, that was when we arrived at the compound. There were a lot of Nigerian young men. I was told by my handler that these Nigerian men that I was looking at, these men, they were Yahoo boys. They had came there with the pictures of white women, those elderly women that they chat with on Facebook. They will be pretending as if they are white guys that are looking for love, and they would go with the pictures of those women to the shrine so that they can leave the pictures of those women at the shrine, and they will be able to do whatever that they wanted with those women. Brother, there was an old priest that was there waiting for us. When it was our turn, I was then told that I was going to get money. This money that I was going to get, it will be once in a lifetime, and I had to use it for something, to start a business which I will never get broke. And then there was a lion skull that was brought before me. This lion skull, it had one eye socket that was filled with white milky stone. They made me to drink something from that skull. It was like blood that was mixed with powdered tobacco, and then they took a needle and they started tattooing a small tattoo on my chest. It is invisible to a person that is not spiritual, but if you are a pastor, you can see that I have a tattoo right over my heart. This is what connects me to that priest. I felt something that was like entering into my body, something that was demonic, something that was craving for blood. The priest then told me that I was now part of the cult of the blind lion. It is a brotherhood and a sisterhood as well. And then I was told that the blind lion will see the wealth for me, but I have to feed him. Each and every 4 months, I have to find a woman, stay with him for 100 days, keep it in a calendar. Each and every day that I stay with her, I have to count day 1 until day 100. On the 120th day, then the lion will take his payment from that woman that I would have stayed with. I did not understand what taking a payment meant. I just thought about the money. When I flew back to Muzanzi, there was something strange that happened. I saw money that was underneath the bed. Who had put this money underneath the bed? I don't even know. I was even scared to stay anymore in that location because now I had almost 300k that I had found in my room. And I was then told to start a consultation company and living off the consultation fees from other rich guys. And then I opened an offshore account, and all of a sudden I became rich. Even if they would sit me down right now and say, how did you become rich? I don't mean like spiritual wise, business wise, I don't know how I became rich. I just woke up and I was there. I was rich. I was able to buy a house. I'll just say in Stein City, I managed to buy a fleet of cars. I thought that I had won the jackpot. When I returned from Nigeria, my wife, whom I had left back in the village in the province where I came from, usually I used to go and see him after 2 months, and I would send him money. It was as if she knew that something was wrong. She forced and she said, I want to come to Joburg. You are cheating on me. Why is it that you do not speak with me anymore? Because I was busy with these businesses, even though I was sending my wife all the money that she needed so that she can take care of our 2 kids. So even though I was sending her money, women, they always want to know what is going on. Sometimes I would switch off my phone because I would be sleeping with other slave queens. Then I said, okay, it's fine. Instead of you coming here, let me come there. So because of the way that I was not having enough money, my wife, she was staying at her mother's house. They had even given us a back room. Whenever I would go back to the village in the province from where I come from, I would spend the time at her mom's house with my wife and my kids. One night when we were being intimate, that was when she screamed so much that she woke up the neighbors as well as her mom and her brother. She pushed me off. She scrambled to the corner of the room. She was shaking. I said, what's wrong? Even her mom, she was surprised because we had never beaten each other. When she came, she asked me and Thandi what was wrong. Thandi was screaming. She was like, Nelson, your face is like a lion. But when I saw myself in the mirror, when I was looking at myself in the mirror, I did not see a lion. But as for my wife, she saw a massive lion. This lion, she said it had one eye, and the other eye, it was not there. It was just bones. When she saw this, I knew that whatever that I had done in Nigeria, it was now living inside my body. I remember drinking blood from the skull of a lion that had a single eye as if it was still alive. Thandi's mom and her brothers, they said, did she drink any alcohol? Because they were surprised because she was telling everyone that I saw a lion, and it did not even make sense to see a lion. How can she say that she saw a lion in my face? So after that night, our relationship was really bad. She refused to be with me, and then I returned back to Joburg and we stopped seeing each other. I did not care that much because the money is good. Then I started staying with another woman, and the episodes of me having to sleep outside, they all started. So this is the part where I have to continue making money. I have to date women for a certain number of months, and if I pick up a woman, usually I pick up a woman on Tinder or high-end clubs. I treat that woman as if she is like a queen. Buy her whatever that she wants, take her wherever she wants to go to. Then that woman will think that I am the perfect gentleman. But after the 4 months after that, I wake up, I totally change. Physically, I change into a animal. It is spiritual what happens. When I change into a lion, somehow I start to eat the womb of that woman. I steal the ability for her to ever have children in her life. I take the fruit of her womb and it feeds my wealth. Within a week of me breaking up with that woman, the woman will start to have medical complications. That woman will suffer from infertility. Other women, they can even have cancer. I have done this to 5 women, but the spirit is greedy. It does not want to wait anymore. I am supposed to sacrifice very soon. And I am supposed to sacrifice my child as well very soon. This is what happened to me after getting a Nigerian connection. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother who is saying that his name is Nelson. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us speak with him in the comment section. Imagine changing into a lion, then after changing into that lion, you eat the womb of the woman that you would have stayed with for 4 months. Let us talk about this in the comment section.